Hello students, today I'm here to teach you chapter 6 in your textbook that's called Binomial Expressions. In grade 9 and 10, you discussed about binomial expressions. What are binomial expressions? When you get two terms, you call it binomial. So here something like this, A plus B. So in 9 and 10, you discuss about expanding brackets, and when you get power 2, how we can expand and simplify expressions. So today we'll discuss more about binomial expressions. Now we'll see whether you can remember previous properties of binomial expressions. So when you get two terms, how we multiply and simplify the expressions. So when you take 2x into 2x, what you get? So just multiply the numbers separately and the x term separately. 2 times 2, 4. X into x, you get x squared. What about this one? 5 times 3, 15. Y into y, you get y squared. What about this one? You get minus and a minus value. So you learned before, plus into plus, you get plus. Plus into minus, you get minus. Minus into plus, you get minus, and minus into minus, you get plus. Whatever the sign, same sign multiplication, you will end up with pluses. One sign and plus and other sign is minus, you will end up with a minus. So here both minus. Minus into minus becomes plus. Minus 2 times minus 3, you get plus 6. A times B, you get AB. What about this one? Plus and minus. So you get a minus. 2 times 4, 8. And M and N. Now try this one. Minus into minus, you get plus. So 6 times 3, 18. X and Y. This one, 3n into 3n. 3 times 3, 9. N into n, n squared. Now we'll take more examples. 5x into 5x. 5 times 5, 25. X into x, x squared. Now try this one. 7 times 7, 49. Y times y, y squared. Again, negative into negative. Negative 2 times negative 2, you get plus 4. P times p, p squared. This one, half times half. Minus into minus become plus. Half into half. So half into half is what? Multiply the numerator separately, denominator separately. 2 times 2, 4. So you will get 1/4 m into m, m squared. Here when you are writing something like this, you can write different ways. You can write m square up and write 4 there. That's also the same thing. Or 1/4 m squared. Same expression. Now we'll see how you can remove brackets and simplify. So something like this. Can you remember? From previous years we did expanding brackets. So you have to multiply all the inside numbers with the outside number. So here 2 times this, 2 times 3. This one with 3, this one with 2. So all these expressions you have to multiply by the outside number. Now try those. After that you can simplify. Now we'll start. 2 times x, 2x. 2 times 3 plus 6. Plus 3 times x, plus 3x. Plus 3 times 2 plus 6. Then you need to simplify. So you get like terms, you add 2x plus 3x, you get 5x. 6 plus 6, you get 12. Now try this one. 2 times a, 2a. 2 times b, 2b. 3 times a, 3a. 3 times b, 3b. When you add like terms, what you get? 2a plus 3a, you get 5a. 2b plus 3b, you get 5b. This one. A times a, you get a squared. A times 3, 3a. We normally write the number in front. 3 times a, 3a. 3 times 3, you get 9. So you will end up with a squared plus 6a plus 9. Now this one, x with x, x squared. X with minus 5, minus 5x. Minus 5 times x, minus 5x. Minus 5 times minus 5, you get plus 25. Now you can add these two. So what you get? X squared minus 10x. Minus 5 and minus 5, you get minus 10 plus 25. This one. M into m, m squared. M into 4, 4m. 4 into m, 4m. And 4 into 4, 16. So when you simplify, you get m squared. 4 plus 4, you get 8. So 8m plus 16. Now we'll do more expansion. So you need to remove brackets first and then write it down and simplify. So a times a squared. A times b, ab. B times a, ba, or you can write as ab. Same term. B times b, b squared. Then when you simplify, AB and AB becomes 2AB. And you can write b squared. This one, x into x, x squared. X into minus y, minus xy. Minus y into x, minus yx, or you can write minus xy again. Minus y into minus y, you get plus y squared. So what you get here, minus xy becomes minus 2xy. And you get y squared. What about this one? A times a squared. A times minus b, minus ab. Minus b times a, minus ba, minus b times minus b, plus b squared. So you get a squared minus ab minus ba, same term. So it becomes minus 2ab plus b squared. Now we'll see when you get square terms, how we can remove brackets. So we can write a plus 3 squared means same term twice. I can write a plus 3, a plus 3. Then what's the method we used before? Expanding brackets. We call it rainbow method or FOIL. First term with first. Can you remember that? FOIL method. First term with first. Outside number with outside. Inside numbers with inside. last number with last. So here, that means this one, first with first. O mean first with last. That means outside numbers. Inside with inside, last with last. So that's called rainbow method. So we'll try that. A times A squared. A times 3, 3A. 3 times A, 3A. 3 times 3, you get plus 9. So after that you can simplify. So what you get? I can add these two together. You get A squared plus 6A plus 9. This one, how you expand when you get a square term? You write down the same thing twice. B minus 5 times B minus 5. Then what you do? You use rainbow method. First with first, outside numbers inside, and last with last. Multiply now. B times B, B squared. B times minus 5, minus 5B. Minus 5 times B, minus 5B. Minus 5 times minus 5, you get plus 25. When you simplify further, these two I can add. B squared minus 10B plus 25. Now, we'll do with this one and try to find out a pattern. Then you can do at once. So we'll see again. You write down the terms separately and then use rainbow method or foil method. So what you get? A with A squared. A with B plus AB. B with A or AB, you get same thing. B times B, you get B squared. Now add and see what you get. These two I can add and write 2AB plus B squared. So what's the pattern you see? This is the first term, this is the last term. First and second or first and last. So first term, square term you are getting here. So here, this is first term squared plus 2 times first term and the second term. First term is A and the second term, you say last term. Last term, you get 2AB. Then what's the other one? Plus last term squared. So when you see the pattern, you can apply this straight away. First term squared, double of first term and last term plus last term squared. When you get minus, what happens? We'll try it out again. A minus B again. When you expand brackets, what you get? You get A times A squared. A times minus B, minus AB. Minus B times A, minus AB again. Minus B times minus B, you get plus B squared. So what you get now? A squared minus 2AB plus B squared. Now, what's the pattern we see? Same thing we get. If this is minus, the middle term is minus. If this is plus, the middle term is plus. Always you get the first term squared and double of the first and the last term squared. So I can write this one. This is first term squared. And then double of first term and the last term. And this one, last term squared. So when you remember this pattern, you can easily apply this one at once. No need to write it again and again and simplify. We'll now try to apply these formulae in applications and see. Now, this is binomial. Bi means two terms squared. So what we do, we use the pattern that we observed. First term squared. So make sure that you put brackets. Plus 2 times first term is 2a, last term 3b. Plus last term squared. Now expand and write down. 2a times 2a, 4a squared. 2 times 2, 4. 4 times 3, 12ab. And this one, 3b times 3b, you get 9b squared. Now try this one. Make sure that you put brackets. So we can take first term as 5x, second term as minus 3y. So make sure that you take this sign for the last term. So we'll write it down. First term squared plus double of first term and the last term we can take minus 3y. Here I'll teach you two methods. If you're taking the sign for the last term, we put plus always. If you're not using the sign, just take 3y as the last term. Then remember to put minus for the second term. Plus minus 3y whole thing squared. So what you get here? 5x into 5x becomes 25x squared. This one you get minus. 2 times 5, 10. 10 times 3, 30. So minus 30 xy. This one minus 3 times minus 3, 9. You get 9y squared. Or what's the second method I explain? I'll write using another color. I'll take red. If you're not considering the sign, what you do? You can take 5x squared, then you put minus 3y is the second term. 5x and 3y and plus 3y squared. You are getting the same thing. So if you are considering minus, don't consider the last term with minus. If you are considering this minus, then just last term take the minus sign as well. Okay, so we'll do another one. This one, first term squared, double of first term and last term plus last term squared. So what you get? 4x into 4x, 16x squared. 4 times 2, 8. 8 times 3, 24. xy. This one, 3y times 3y, 9y squared. What about this one? If you are not taking the sign, first term squared. This is minus means the second term should be minus. then double of first term and the last term, and then plus last term squared. So what you get? 4 times 4, 16, a squared, minus 2 times 4, 8, 8 times 3, 24. AB plus 3b times 3b, 9b squared. Now we'll see how we can find patterns. So we'll take this one, A5, A4, B1, A3, B2, A2, B3, A1, B4, and B5. When you look at these terms, what do you observe? There are 2 letters. So this is binomial, means 2 letters are there, 2 terms. Starting with A, first power is 5. Then what happens to the power of A? It reduced by 1. It becomes 4. 3, 2, 1. And then finally 0. A to the power 0 is 1. No need to write down. Now think about this other term. Starting from B0. B to the power 0 is 1. B1, B2, B3, B4, B5. What you see? The power of first one reduces by 1 and the power of the next letter increases by 1. And here, look at the powers. When you add the powers, 4 plus 1, you get 5. 3 plus 2, you get 5 again. 2 plus 3, 5. 1 plus 4, 5. And 5 again. So here we observe 3 things. When you add the powers, you are getting the same number. First term, the power reduces by 1. And the second letter, the power increases by 1. Now we'll take another one. A to the power 4. I can write 3b1. A 2b2. A1 b3. A0 no need to write. B4. Here also same pattern we can see. This power reduces by 1, second power increases by 1, and when you add the powers, 3 plus 1, 4, 2 plus 2, 4, 1 plus 3, 4. You get the same power when you add the powers. Now we'll see what happens here. Power 3. A2, B1. A, B2, and B3. So here, when you get 3 as the power, it becomes 2, 1, 1, 2, and 3. So here in grade 11 syllabus, this pattern is the most important one you have to learn. Now we'll take A squared. We did that in last year. When it's squared, 1, 1. Then you get A0, B2. So square term, and middle multiplication. Can you remember when you expand square term? You got 3 terms. First term squared, double of first and the last term squared. So we did that last year. Okay, so now if it's 1, you are getting A0, B1. If it's 0, you can't get anything, just 1. So I'll put 1 there. No need to write a to the power 0 because you are getting a to the power 0 as 1. So try to observe now. Observe these patterns because we are talking about power 3 in this unit. So here we need to talk about cube of a binomial expressions. What is a cube? Cube means power 3. So here this is binomial because there are 2 terms. Now we'll try to find out a pattern. So when you are expanding, what you do? We know how to expand the square term. So I can rewrite this as a plus b once and a plus b squared. So same thing. Power 3 is power 2 and another power 1. Now what I can do, I can write this one. We know the expansion of power 2. So what's the expansion? You are getting first term squared, double of first term and the last term plus last term squared. So using that pattern, we'll try to expand cubic expressions. So here I'll take this one. Now again you have to multiply all the terms. So here first with first, first with second, first with third, second with first, second with second, second with third. So we are using rainbow method. So what you get? A times a squared, you get a cube. A times 2ab, you get 2a squared b. A times b squared, ab squared. What about this one? B times a squared. I can write ba squared or a squared b. B times 2ab, I get 2ab squared. B times b squared, I get b cubed. Now, are there any like terms? I see this term and this term, both same terms. So what you get? A cube plus 2a squared b and a squared b, you get 3a squared b. And also I see these two are like terms, this and this, ab squared and 2ab squared. So what you get there? When you add these two together, ab squared plus 2ab squared, you get 3ab squared. Plus you get the last term b cubed. So what's the pattern you observe? A is the first term. So this is the first term and this is the last. So first term cube. And then 3 times. What is this now? We observed a pattern for power 3. 3, 2, 1, 0. Again, when you take the last term starting with 0, 1, 2, 3. So that pattern comes when you expand power 3. So here, what's the extra term you are getting? This number. So you are getting 3 as the coefficient of these two terms. So here, what's the pattern we observe? First term cube. And then first term, the power reduces by 1. So the next one becomes first term power 2. The other one becomes first term power 1. Then what happens? The last term, starting from power 1, it increases. Last term squared here and last term cube. Now, only extra term you see is both these terms you get plus 3. So you have to multiply the other terms, middle terms, by 3. So remember this pattern when you get a cube term. Now we'll use that pattern and expand power 3's. So what's the pattern you observed? We observed first term cube. And then other terms, the power of the first term reduces by 1. So I can put x squared, x1. Second term, starting from power 1, it increases. And then what happens? The middle terms you get 3. So 3 times this, 3 times this. Last term and the first term you get coefficient as 1. So here try to apply that pattern for this one. First term cube and reduces 3 times. Reduce the power of the first term by 1 and then the second term comes as power 1. 3 times, first term reduces by 1 again. This is increasing. Then you get Q3. Now try this one at once. First term cube, 3 times. The power reduces by 1. Last term, power increases. 3 times L, reduce that by 1. This one increasing. And then last term, power 3. Here when you add these, you should get 3. What about this one? H and K. First term cube, 3 times. Reduce the power by 1, starting this one by 1, plus 3 times h1 k squared plus k cube. So here without writing these power 1's, I can write down this one as x cube plus 3x squared y plus 3xy squared and y cube. No need to write down the power 1. This one I can write p to the power 3, 3p squared q, 3pq squared plus q cube. This one L cube plus 3L squared m plus 3LM squared plus m cube. This one I can write h cube plus 3h squared k plus 3hk squared plus k cube. Now we'll take, when you get minus, what happens to the expansion. So we'll take separately and try to find out a pattern. So how can I take the power 3? I can multiply one power with another power 2. We know what's the answer for this one. When you get minus, the middle term, you get minus. So here, first term squared minus double of first term and the last term plus last term squared. So that's the pattern we observed before. Now expand brackets. Use rainbow method to expand it. So I'm using the rainbow method. So what you get here? A times a squared, you get a cube. A times minus 2ab, you get minus 2a squared b. a times b squared, you get ab squared. What about this one? Minus b times a squared, minus ba squared, or I can write other way around. I'll write other way around because then we can see whether there are like terms. I did this one, minus ba squared. Now this one, minus b times minus 2ab. You get plus 2ab squared. This with this, you get minus b cubed. Now see whether there are like terms to simplify. I see this term and this term are like terms, and again I see this one and this one like terms. So I can simplify. So when I simplify, what I get? A cube. Minus 2a squared b minus a squared b, you get minus 3a squared b. Other one, plus ab squared and plus 2ab squared, you get plus 3ab squared. And the last one, you get minus. So what's the pattern you observe here? We observe first term positive, second term negative, third term positive, fourth term negative. So the sign changes every other term. So here, remember that first term, starting with the first term positive, second term negative, third term positive, and fourth term again negative. Or if you can take first term as a and the other one as minus b, and then with the sign we can expand. So here I'll write down first term cube. Then we observe the same pattern. The first term power reduces by 1, and this is 3. Always the middle terms 3. So this is minus 3 first term squared and the second term power 1. Or I'll write last term. Then 3 times first term and last term squared, and minus last term cube. So here the sign started with plus, minus, plus, minus. So remember this pattern when you get power 3 and especially when you get minus in the middle. Now we'll look at more expansion. Now you get coefficients as well. So how we use the pattern that we observed. Make sure that you put brackets for the whole term. So the first term is now 2a, not just a. Second, last term is 3b. So we'll use brackets. First term cube. Then what happens? First term squared, last term power 1. The next term, first term power 1, last term power 2. That's the last one. Last term power 3. Now extra term comes 3 here, 3 here, and this is all pluses. Now you need to expand and write down this. 2 times 2 times 2, you get 8. You get 8a cube. 2 times 2, here remember this, 2a times 2a. You get 4a squared. So 4 times 3, 12. 12 times 3, 36. A squared b. What's the number you are getting now? 3 times 3, 9. 9 times 2, 18. 18 times 3. What's 18 times 3? 54. So you are getting 54ab squared. And then what you get for the last term? 3b times 3b times 3b. 3 times 3 times 3, you get 27b cube. Now try to expand this one. Make sure that you put brackets. First term cube, first term squared, first term 1, first term 0. Then the second term you get starting from power 1, 2y power 2, 2y power 3. Then remember to put 3 there, first and second, and then pluses, pluses, pluses. Now expand. 3 times 3 times 3, 27x cube. 3 times 3, 9. 9 times 3, 27. 27 times 2, 27 times 2, you get 54. X squared y. Here 2 times 2, 4. 4 times 3, 12. 12 times 3, 36. And then 2 to the power 3, you get 8y cube. Now try this one. First term cube. First term power 2. First term power 1. And then the second term starting from this one. Power 1, power 2, and power 3. Then 3 here, plus, plus, plus. Now expand. 5 times 5 times 5, 125 a cube. This one, 5 times 5, 25. 25 times 2, 50. 50 times 3, 150. This one, 2 times 2, 4. 4 times 5, 20. 20 times 3, 60. This one, 2 to the power 3, you get 8. 8b cube. Now, you get a minus. So, what's the pattern now? You can again take the power 3 first. Power 2, power 1. Then what happens to the second term? Starting from power 1, power 2, power 3. And then make sure that you put 3 here. What happens to the sign? First term plus, second term minus, third term plus, last term minus. Now expand. 2 times 2 times 2, 8a cube. This one, 2 times 2, 4. 4 times 3, 12a squared b. This one, 3 times 2, 6 ab squared minus b cube. Now we'll take more expansion. So try to apply at once. First term, power 3. First term, power 2. So here, first term, power 1. Here, y, power 1, power 2, power 3. Now what's the extra term? You are getting 3 here, 3 here, and this is minus. So second term minus, third term plus, last term minus. Now try to expand this. 5 times 5 times 5, 125. 5 times 5, 25. 25 times 3, 75. The other one, plus 5 times 3, 15. And you get last term y to the power 3. This one, first term cube, first term squared, first term power 1. Second term, starting from this, power 1, power 2 and power 3. Then you put 3 here, 3 here. Now think about sign. First plus, second minus, third plus, last one minus. Now expand brackets. 2 times 2 times 2, 8a cube. What about this one? 2 times 2, 4. 4 times 3, 12. 12 times 3, 36. This one, 3 times 3, 9. 9 times 3, 27. 27 times 2, 54. And the last term, 3 to the power 3. You get 27b cube. This one, this is a fraction. So you use the same procedure. First term, starting with power 3, power 2, power 1. Second term, 1 over a is the term. Power 1 squared and power 3. Then what you do? Put 3 here, 3 here, and this is plus. Plus means all pluses. So now expand and write down a cube. This a squared and 1a get cancelled out and you are getting 3a. This one, a squared down and 1a in the numerator. So you get 3 over a. Last one, you get 1 over a to the power 3, a cube. This one similarly, apply the formula a3, a2, a1. What's the second term? 1 over a. 1 over a, 1 over a squared, 1 over a cube. Then what's the other one? You put 3 here, 3 there. And now the sign. First term plus, second term minus, plus, minus. Now when you simplify, what you get? A cube here minus 1. This is a squared in the numerator and a is in the denominator. So 1a get cancelled out. You get 3a. Here denominator is a squared. Numerator is a. When you cross out 1a, you get 3 over a there. And here 1 over a cube. Now see, it's really easy when you remember the pattern. Now I'll show you, this is not in the syllabus, but I'll show you how you get those numbers in the middle. So earlier when you get power 3, you got 3 and 3 for the second term and the third term. I'll show you about those coefficients using Pascal's triangle. So Pascal is one of the mathematicians found a pattern like this. So this is a triangle. So he created a triangle. All n values are ones. So you can make a big triangle. Then what happens to these numbers? So here, starting from here, so this is 1, 1, and this number, it comes like adding the two numbers. 1 plus 1, you get 2. Then here 1 plus 2, you get 3. 2 plus 1, you get 3 here. 1 plus 3, you get 4. 3 plus 3, you get 6. 3 plus 1, you get 4. Now if you want another line, we can expand this. 1 plus 4, you get 5. 4 plus 6, you get 10. 6 plus 4 again 10. 4 plus 1, 5. Now look at these numbers. What can you see? So here we did before square term. So what's the square term? You observed a's first term squared. Second term is 2. 2 times first term and the last term. What about cube term? First term cube, 3 times first term squared and the last term, and 3 times. Can you see here? 3's are there. So this is related to power 3. So here, this is if it's a plus b cube. What are the coefficients you got before? A cube, 3a squared b plus 3ab squared plus b cube. So these 3 using this one. Earlier we did power 2. What's the pattern we observed? A plus b squared is a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. So here this 2, this one. And here 1 means this first term and the last term. First term and the last term, always coefficients are 1. What about this one? This is just a plus b to the power 1. So what you get? A plus b. So 1 and 1. So these 2. And this actually a plus b to the power 0. You get 1. Now if you want power 5, what's the pattern you are getting? According to this one, you are getting a plus b to the power 5 is what? You are getting first term 5, second term reduces the power b, a3b squared, a2b3 and a1, b4 and b5. These are the terms you are getting. So what are the coefficients? 1, 5, 10, 10, 5, 1. So when you want to expand any power, it's easy to use the Pascal triangle. So if you want power 4, what are the coefficients you are getting? 1, 4, 6, 4, 1. So remember this Pascal triangle when you get different powers. Now we'll do the review exercise in your textbook. It says fill in the blanks. So here expand power 2 is given and you just asked to fill these blanks. So we can do at once. So this is a square term. So the power reduces and the last power increase. So what's the number here? B to the power 2. What about the other one? Last 2 terms given. So what's the first term? Starting from the first term, power 2. This one. First 2 terms given. So what's the last term? Last term squared. So 2 to the power 2, you get 4. What about this one? The middle term. So what's the middle term? Double of the multiplication of the first and the last. 2 times 3, 6. 6y. This one, first term we need. So what's the first term? You are getting square term, a squared. This one, you need to write second term and the last term. What's the second term? Double of first and the last. 2 times b times 1, 2b. But this is minus, so you are getting minus sign. Then what about the last term? 1 squared. 1 squared is 1. This one, first term is given. What's the second term? Double of these 2. 2 times 4, 8, 8x. And the last term is square of this. So this is plus x squared. This one, 49 is given. That's the first term square. What's the middle term? Double of these 2. 2 times 7, 14. 14 times t, 14t. But the sign is negative. This one, first term squared is given. So what's the middle term? double of these two. 2 times 2x becomes 4x. So what's the sign? Plus. This one, first term, is 3b squared. 3 times 3, 9. So you get 9b squared. The middle term is given. And the last term again, last term squared. 2 times 2, 4. But this is plus. So always first term and the last term plus, and the middle term only changes depend on the sign here. Now we'll look at question number 2. Expand. So all these power 2's. So here how can we use our pattern? First term squared plus here double of the first term and the last term and last term squared. Expand it. 4m squared. 3 times 2, 6. 6 times 2, 12. And 3 times 3, 9. This one, use the pattern. First term squared, double. This is minus double of the first term and the last term. And then last term squared. 1 squared is 1. Expand it. 9x squared. 2 times 3, 6. You get 1. Apply again. First term squared. This is plus double of the first term and the last term squared. Now expand it. 5 times 5, 25. 5 times 2, 10. 10 times 2, 20x plus 4x squared. This one, first term squared, double of the first term and the last term squared. Expand it. 2 times 2, 4. 3 times 2, 6. 6 times 2, 12. AB and 9b squared. This one, minus sign. 3m first term squared minus double of the first term and the last term squared. Expand it. 9m squared. 3 times 2, 6. 6 times 2, 12. 2 times 2, 4n squared. This one, again apply. First term squared, double of first term and the last term squared. What you get? 2 times 2, 4x squared. Double of this. 2 times 5, 10. 10 times 2, 20. xy. 5 times 5, 25. Y squared. Now we'll look at question number 3. Evaluate the following squares by writing each as a square of a binomial expression. So here, how can we write down 32? I can write down 32 as 30 plus 2. 30 plus 2 is 32. Now use the pattern. First term squared, double of the first term and the last term squared. So what you get? 30 times 30, 900. 2 times 2, 4. 4 times 30, 120. And then 2 times 2, 4. When you add all these together, what you get? You get 4, 2 here and 10. 1024. So the 32 to the power squared is 1024. Now we'll try 103 now. How can I write 103? I can write 100 plus 3. Now apply the formula. First term squared, double of the first term and the last term squared. Now Expand. 100 times 100, you get 2, 3, 4, 10,000. 2 times 3, 6. 6 times 100, 600. 3 times 3, you get 9. Now, add all the numbers together. You get 9, 0, 6, 0, 1. 10,609. What's 18 square? How can I write 18 square with easy numbers? So I can write 20 minus 2. 20 squared minus here 2 times the first term and the last term plus last term squared. Expand. 20 squared is 400 minus 2 times 2, 4. 4 times 20 is 80. And then plus 4 squared. Not 4 squared, 2 squared is 4. Now when you simplify, what you get? 400 minus 80, what you get? 320. 320 plus 4, 324. This one, 99. How can I write 99? 100 minus 1. So what's the expansion? 100 squared, double of, this is minus, so double of first term and the last term and the last term squared. So what's the value? You get 100 times 100 is 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 10,000 minus 2 times 100, 200 plus 1. So what's the answer? 10,000 minus 200. You get 9,800. 9,800 plus 1. You get 9,801. Now we'll look at example 1 in your textbook. It says x plus y to the power 3. So we'll do normal way and explain what is x plus y cube means. X plus y and x plus y power 2. Then we know what's the power 2. Power 2 is first term squared, double of the first term and the last term squared. Now we can use rainbow method to multiply. All these you can multiply using the rainbow method. Then what you do? Expand. X into x squared, you get x cubed. X into 2xy, you get 2x squared y. X into y squared, xy squared. Now with y. Y times x squared, or I can write x squared y. Plus this into this, you get 2xy squared. And then the last term, y into y squared, you get y cubed. Now simplify. This and this like term, and this both are like terms. So you can add separately. So what you get here? X cubed. This and this you get 3x squared y. These two you get 3xy squared and y cubed. Now we'll look at example number 2 in your textbook. X plus 5 to the power 3. So you can now use the pattern we observed. What's the pattern we observed? First term cube, the power reduces, x2, x1. Second last term is 5. Starting with 5, 5 squared, 5 to the power 3. Then what's the pattern? There's a number 3 comes, 3. And then all pluses. So what's the answer? X cube. 5 times 3, 15. 5 times 5, 25. 25 times 3, 75. And 5 to the power 3, you get 125. Now we'll look at example number 3. Use the pattern again. First term is 1. 1 to the power 3 is 1. So all these first terms are 1s because any power of 1 is 1. What about the second term? Starting from 1, it's increasing, power increases. X3. And then you put 3 here, 3 here. And then this is pluses for all terms. So what's the expansion? After you expand this, you get 1. 3 times x, 3x. 3 times 1, 3. And you get power 3. This one, again, similarly, power 3 is there. Starting from power 3, power 2, power 1. Starting from 4, power 1, power 2, and power 3. Then what's the next step? You get 3 here, 3 there. And now this is minus. So what's the pattern? First term plus, second term negative, third term positive, last term negative. Now expand it, y cube. 4 times 3, 12y squared. This time 4 squared, 16 times 3. So what is 16 times 3? You get 48. So here 48y. And 4 to the power 3. 4 times 4, 16. 16 times 4. What is 16 times 4? 64. So you get 64. Now we'll look at example number 5. Again minus with power 3. So we'll write down power 3, power 2, power 1. Last term is a. Power 1, power 2, power 3. Then the sign. First term plus, second term minus, third term plus, last term minus. 5 to the power 3, 125. 5 squared, we forgot to put 3. 3 in the middle. So here 3 times, 3 times. 5 squared is 25. 25 times 3, 75. This one, 5 times 3, 15. You get a cube. Now look at example number 6. Now there's a minus in front. So make sure that you put brackets. So what's the first term? Minus 2. So minus 2 starting with power 3, power 2, power 1. This one a starting with here power 1, power 2 and power 3. Then what's the next step? You put 3 here, 3 here, and this is plus. You put pluses here. So when you expand, what you get? Minus 2 times minus 2 times minus 2. You will end up with minus 8. Here minus 2 times minus 2, 4. 4 times 3, 12. This one minus 2 times plus 3. You get minus 6a squared, and the last term a cube. Now we look at example number 7. Again power 3. So first term is minus 3 starting from power 3. Power 2, power 1. Second term is b. Starting from here 1, 2, 3. What's the middle sign? middle sign is minus. So first term plus, second term minus, third term plus, last term minus. Now expand. Minus 3 times minus 3 times minus 3. You will end up with minus 27. Here minus 3 times minus 3. And here again we forgot to put 3 there. So you need to put 3 there. So minus 3 times minus 3, you get 9. 9 times 3, you get 27. So minus 27b. This one, minus 3 times 3, you get minus 9b squared. And here also you get b cube, minus b cube. So here all negative terms. Now we'll look at example number 8. Write the expansion of x minus 3 to the power 3 and verify that with this. So first thing you have to expand and write down power 3. So what is power 3? You get first term power 3, reduces the power by 1. You get this one. Second term 3, starting with this one, the power increases. And the third step, you put 3 here, 3 here. And the final step, when this is minus, first term is plus, other one negative, plus, minus. And now you can expand and write down x to the power 3. Here 3 times 3, 9. 3 times 3, 9. 9 times 3, 27. Here again you get 27. So that's the expansion of power 3. Now what they ask? They ask verify that 4 minus 3 cube. When you compare these two, what happens? 3 is there. Instead of x, you get 4. So that means when you substitute x equals 4, you need to get the same answer both sides. So we'll try to substitute x equals 4 now. So when x equals 4, what's the left hand side? Left hand side becomes 4 minus 3 cube. What's the right hand side of this expression? So we can substitute x as 4. 4 to the power 3 minus 9, 4 to the power 2 plus 27 times 4 minus 27. Now we'll simplify. 4 times 4, 16. 16 times 4, 64. 4 times 4, 16. 16 times 9, 144. 27 times 4, 108. And then minus 27. Now simplify this one. 64 plus 108. What you get? 172. Subtract 144. 28. And when you subtract 27 again, what you get? 1. So this side is 1. Here, when you simplify this, what you get as the left hand side number? 4 minus 3, 1. 1 to the power 3, you get 1. Now we see left hand side is equal to right hand side. So that's how we can verify this one. Now we'll look at exercise 6.1 in your textbook. So it says fill in the blanks using suitable algebraic terms, symbols, plus or minus or numbers. So here first few terms given and you need to just expand and fill those two boxes. Now, what's the second term? Second term is here. 3 times 3, 9. 9 into x squared, you get 9x squared. What's this third term? Third term is this. 3 squared is 9. 9 times 3, 27. What's the term? X term. So you write 27x. Now here the second one, you need the second term and the third term. So what's the pattern? Power 3, power 2, power 1. The second term starting with power 1, power 2. What's the answer? When you simplify last term, you get 2 to the power 3. What is 2 to the power 3? That's 8. This term, 2 to the power 2 is 4. 4 times 3, 12. So you get 12y. Now look at the other one. A minus 5 cube. So all these terms given left hand side. So just simplify. So minus 5 times 3 minus 15 a squared. What's the third term? Third term is this. Minus 5 times minus 5, 25. 25 times 3, 75. So you get 75a. Now look at this one. Lot of missing terms. So we'll start from here. First one is power 3. So 3 to the power 3. So what happens to the power 3? It reduces. 3 to the power 2, 3 to the power 1. And the second term is t. Starting from second term, this is t squared, and then this one t to the power 3. So simplify. 3 to the power 3, you get 27. Middle term given, and the third term is this. 3 times 3, 9. And you get 9t squared. Look at the last one. Here when it's minus, but they have taken, now look at this term. They have taken minus 2 as the last term. So when you are taking minus 2 as the last term, make sure that you put all signs positive. Positive, positive, positive. Then first term is x. So this one reduces. You get x squared and x. Second terms you have to take as minus 2. So minus 2 starting with 1, minus 2 power 2. Now expand and write down. So what's the second term? You get plus. Plus into minus, 3 times 2, you get negative 6x squared. And then what's the last term? Last term becomes minus 2 times minus 2 times minus 2, you get minus 8. Now we'll look at second question, expand. This is power 3. We'll use the pattern at once. So what's the pattern? First term 3, the power reduces. Second term is 2, starting with power 1, power 2, power 3. And then the third step, you put 3 to these two numbers, and this is all plus. When you expand, what you get? Now expand and write down m3, 3 times 2, 6. This one 2 times 2, 4, 4 times 3, 12. And 2 to the power 3, you get 8. Now look at this one again. Follow the pattern. Starting from power 3, first term reduces the power. Second term is 4, starting from 1, it's increasing. And then you put 3 for the second term and the third term, and then pluses. Now expand. X to the power 3, 3 times 4, 12, x squared. 4 times 4, 16. 16 times 3, what's the answer? 48. And 4 to the power 3, we know that it's 64. Now look at part C. Follow the pattern. First term starting from power 3, power reduces. Second term 2, starting with this, power increasing. The next step is to put 3's here and then the sign. If it's minus, first term plus, minus, plus, minus, and then expand. B to the power 3, 3 times 2, 6. 2 times 2, 4. 4 times 3, 12. 2 to the power 3, you get 8. This one, starting from power 3, power reduces. Second term, starting from power 1, it increases. And then you put 3's for the two middle numbers and then the sign. First term plus, second term minus, plus, minus. And then simplify. T to the power 3. 10 times 3, 30. 10 times 10 is 100. 100 times 3, 300. 10 to the power 3, you get 1000. Now we'll look at this one again, power 3. Same pattern. So when you do this one, by memorizing the pattern, you can do these fast. So here, starting from 1, it increases. Then you put 3 and then pluses for the all expressions. 5 to the power 3, 125. 5 squared is 25. 25 times 3, 75. 5 times 3, 15. And you get power 3. Now this one again, starting from power 3, it reduces. This last term is k. Starting from power 1, it increases. And then 3 here, and then plus for all terms. So what's the pattern? 6 times 6 times 6. 36 times 6, you get 216. 6 times 6, 36. 36 times 3, 108. 6 times 3 is 18. And you get k cube. This one, again, same pattern. So here, 1 to the power, any number is 1, so you don't need to think about the first number. Last number, starting from second one, it increases. Then you put 3 here. That's all. So you are getting at 1. So here it's easy when you get first term as 1 or last term as 1. No need to think about the power. This one, there's a number. So here you have to start from power 3, power 2, power 1. X starting from this, power increases. And then you put 3 here, and the sign. First term plus, second term minus, third term plus, last term minus. When you simplify, 4 times 4, 16. 16 times 4, 64. 4 times 4, 16. 16 times 3, 48. 3 times 4, 12. And you get the last term, x cube. This one, 2 minus p cube. So first term 2. Starting from power 3, it reduces. Second term is p. Starting from p, it increases. Then you put 3 here, and the minus sign. Minus means first term plus, second term minus, third term plus, last term minus. Now expand it. 2 to the power 3 is 8. 2 times 2, 4. 4 times 3, 12. 3 times 2, 6. And you get this answer. Now again this one. Starting from 9. First term is 9. Last term is t. So starting from power 3. Power 2, power 1. T starting from here, power 1, power 2, power 3. And then you put 3 here. And the sign. First term plus, negative, plus, negative. 9 to the power 3. 9 times 9, 81. 81 times 9, 729. 9 times 9, 18. 18 times 3. So what you get? 54. 9 times 3, 27. And you get t to the power 3. This one. Now minus m is there, so make sure that you put brackets for the first term. So minus m power 3 minus m power 2 minus m power 1. Second term, last term is 3. Starting from here, 1, 2 and 3. And the second term, you put 3. Third term, you put 3. And then this is plus. That means all plus. Now, simplify. Minus m times minus m times minus, you get minus m cube. This one, minus m squared, you get positive. 3 times 3, 9. 9m squared. This one, you get minus because there's a minus 1 there. So, minus 3 times 3, 9. 9 times 3, 27. So, you get 27m. And 3 to the power 3, you get 27. This one, first term is minus 5 and the last term is y. Make sure that you put brackets. The power reduces. Second term, power increases. And then you put 3 here. And the sign. Sign is minus in the middle. So first term is plus, second term minus, third term plus, last term minus. So minus 5 times minus 5 times minus 5, you get minus 125. Here also you get minus. This is plus, plus into minus, minus. 5 times 5, 25. 25 times 3, 75. This one, minus 5 times 3, you get minus 50. Last term, minus y cube. This one, a, b and c. So here, what's the first term? a, b. Make sure that you put brackets. a, b 3, a, b squared, a, b. Second, last term, c. c squared, c cube. Then the middle term and the other one, 3's, and then this is plus. You put pluses. So what's the answer? When you take power 3, you have to consider both powers. So a3, b3. This one I get 3. Both these power 2, a squared, b squared, c. This one all power 1s, 3, ab, but c power 2. The last term you get c to the power 3. This one, first term is 2x and the last term is 3y. So you get 2x to the power 3, 2x to the power 2, 2x to the power 1. The last term starting from here, 1, 2, 3. Then what's the next one? You put 3's. And then all terms positive because the middle sign is positive. Now expand. 2 to the power 3, 8x cubed. Here 2 to the power 2, 4. 4 times 3, 12. 12 times 3, 36. This one, 3 squared is 9. 9 times 3, 27. 27 times 2, 54. This one, 3 to the power 3. 3 to the power 3 is 27 y cube. This one, again same procedure. Fill that first. Starting from power 3, you write down all these powers reducing by 1. Second term or last term starting with power 1, it increases. Then you get 3 and 3 for the second and the third term. This is plus, so you put pluses. Now expand and write down. 3 to the power 3, 27. 3 squared is 9. 9 times 3, 27. 27 times 4. What you get? 108. The other one, 4 times 4, 16. 16 times 3, 48. 48 times 3 again. 144. 4 to the power 3 is 64. Now look at the other one. This one, starting from the first term, power 3, power 2, power 1. Second term or last term, starting from 5b, power 1, power 2, power 3. And then you put 3's for these two numbers, and this is minus, starting from plus, minus, plus, minus. So what you get here? 2 to the power 3, you get 8. This one, 2 to the power 2, 4. 4 times 5, 20. 20 times 3, 60. This one, 5 squared, 25. 25 times 2, 50. 50 times 3, 150. This one, 5 times 5 times 5, you get 125 b cube. Now look at the question number 3. Write as a cube of a binomial expression. So we have to do other way around. The expanded form is given and you are asked to write down the cube term. So here look at these terms, middle terms 3. So what you get? First term is A and the last term is B. And all positive means you are getting A plus B whole thing cube. What about this one? Plus minus plus minus. So that means middle term should be minus. What's the first term? First term is C. Last term is D. This one, all pluses. So the term is plus. X to the power 3 is there. So the first term is X. 8. What's the cube term for 8? 2 to the power 3. So you are getting 2 as the last number. What about this one? Plus minus plus minus. So that means minus sign is there. Y to the power 3 is there. That means y is the first term. What is 216? Which number to the power 3 is 16? 6 to the power 3. 36 times 6, you get 216. So this is 6 to the power 3. So that means last term is 6. Now look at this one. First term is 1. Last term is x, all positive. That means 1 plus x to the power 3. This one, first term positive, second term negative. So that means the middle term is negative. The last term is x. And what is the number? 64. 4 to the power 3. So that means this number is 4. Now we'll look at question number 4. Shown in the diagram is a cube with the length of each side a plus 5 units. Write an expression for the volume of the cube and expand it. So basically, what's the volume of a cube? Length into breadth into height. So all these are same. That means the volume is equal to a plus 5 is one side. So you cube it. Length into width into breadth. Then they asked to expand this. So this is power 3. So you can expand using the pattern. First term power 3, second term power 2. And what happens to the last number? Starting from 5, it increases. And then you put 3 here and all pluses. So what's the expanded form? A to the power 3. 3 times 5, 15. And here 5 squared is 25. 25 times 3, 75. And this one, 5 to the power 3, you get 125. Now look at question number 5. Expand power 3 and verify the results for the following cases when x equals 2 and x equals 4. So first thing, they want to expand this one. So what's the expansion again? Starting from power 3, the first term power reduces by 1. The second term is 3 or last term, starting from 1, it increases. And then all pluses, and make sure that you multiply this and this by 3. Now expand and write down. X to the power 3, 3 times 3, 9, 3 times 3 times 3, 27, and you get 27. So that's the expanded form. Now you have to verify the results for the following cases when x equals 2. So when x equals 2, what's the left hand side? 2 plus 3, 5. 5 to the power 3. So what is the answer? 5 to the power 3 is 125. What's the right hand side value? Right hand side is, you have to plug 2 here. 2 to the power 3, 9 into 2 to the power 2, 27 times 2 plus 27. So what's the value? 2 to the power 3 is 8. 9 into 4, 36. 27 times 2, 54. And you get 27. Now add all these and find out the answer. 6 plus 4, 10. 10 plus 8, 18. 18 plus 7, 25. 2 remaining. 2 plus 3, 5. 5 plus 5, 10. 10 plus 2, 12. So you get 125. So we see left hand side is equal to the right hand side for when x equals 2. Now you have to substitute x equals 4. For x equals 4, same thing you have to do. Left hand side becomes 4 here. 4 plus 3, 7. 7 to the power 3. So what is 7 to the power 3? 7 times 7, 49. 49 times 7. What's the answer? 343. Now we'll look at the right hand side and see whether it's true. So right hand side, x becomes 4. 4 to the power 3, 9 times 4 squared, plus 27 times 4, plus 27. So what's the answer? 4 to the power 3, 64. 9 times 16. So what is 9 times 16? 144. Then 27 times 4. I'll do it here. 108. Then plus 27. Now add and see. 4 plus 4, 8. 8 plus 8, 16. 16 plus 7. What's the answer? 16 plus 7. 23. So 3 there. 2 remaining. 6 plus 2, 8. 8 plus 4, 12. 12 plus 2, 14. 1 remaining. 1 plus 1, 2. 2 plus 1, 3. So 343. So we see left hand side is equal to right hand side. Now look at question number 6. Use the knowledge on cubes of binomial expressions to evaluate the following numerical expressions. So the expanded form is given. If you can figure out the other one, the cube form, easily you can do it. First, look at the first one. 4 terms, 3 and 3 here. This is the last term and this is the first term. What is 64? 4 to the power 3. And what is this one? 27 is 3 to the power 3. This is plus minus means definitely this should be minus. And this one power 3. So what's the answer? 4 minus 3 is 1. 1 to the power 3. You are getting 1 as the answer. Second part, this is also cube term is given. 216. What's the cube term? 6. What's 125? 5 to the power 3. Plus minus means this is minus. And you are getting cube term. So what's the answer? 6 minus 5, 1. 1 to the power 3. You are getting 1. Now look at 7th question. Find the value of each of the following by writing each as a cube of a binomial expression. How can we write 21? So I can write 21 as 20 minus 1. Now I can expand it. So what's the expansion? I can 20 plus 1. 21 means 20 plus 1. So what's the expansion? First term power 3, power 2, power 1. And the second term is 1. You don't need to write. And then you get 3 here, 3 here. Last term you are getting 1. And then this is plus. So all pluses. 20 to the power 3. 20 times 20 times 20. 20 times 20, 400. 400 times 20, 8,000. 20 times 20, 400. 400 times 3, 1,200. This one, 3 times 20, you get 60. And then 1. So what's the answer? 1 is there. 6, 2, 1 and 8, you get 9. So the answer is 9,261. How can we write down 102? 102 I can write 100 plus 2. Now use the expansion. 100 to the power 3, 100 squared, 100. Then second term, 2 squared and 2 to the power 3. And then middle term you multiply by 3, and all these positive, you put positive sign. Now expand. 100 times 100 times 100. How many zeros you are getting? 6 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you get this answer. So then what is this one? 100 times 100, you get 4 zeros. That means 10,000. 10,000 times 6, you get 60,000. Here 2 times 2, 4. 4 times 3, 12. 12 times 100, 1,200. And 2 to the power 3, you get 8. So when you add it together, what you get? You get 8 and then 0, you get 2, 1, and here 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you get 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then 0 and 1. So what's this value? So what's the answer? You get 10,061,208. Now 17. How can we write 17? What's the easiest way to write 17? I can write 20 minus 3. Then use the expanded form. Power 3, power 2 here, power 1. Second term or the last term starting from 3, power 1, power 2, power 3. And then middle term I need to multiply by 3. Here negative. So first term positive, negative, positive, negative. Then expand it. 20 times 20, 400. 400 times 20, 8,000. 20 times 20, 400. 400 times 9, 3,600. That's minus. Then this one, 20 times 9. Here we can do 3 to the power 3, 27. 27 times 2, 54. And put a 0. 540. And this is minus 27. Now add and subtract. So we'll do 8,000 subtract 3,600. What you get here? 4,400. Add 540. You get 4,940. Subtract 27. 4,930. Now use this one. 98. How can I write 98? 100 minus 2. Use the expansion. 100 cube, 100 squared, 100. Second term or last term starting with 2. 2 squared, 2 to the power 3. And then middle terms you need to multiply by 3. And this is negative. First term positive, negative, positive, negative. Now expand. 100 times 100 times 100. How many zeros? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 100 times 100, 10,000. 10,000 times 6, 60,000. This one, 2 times 2, 4, 4 times 3, 12. 12 times 100, 1,200. And here you get 8. Now do the calculation. This is 1 million. 1 million minus 60,000. What you get? So here you get 940,000. 940,000 you are getting when you subtract. Then plus 1,200 you get this number and subtract 8. When you subtract 8 you get 941,192. Now we'll look at question number 8. Find the volume of a cube with each side 2a minus 5 centimeters in terms of A. So this is a cube. So that means all sides are equal. So one side length is 2a minus 5, breadth is 2a minus 5, and the height also 2a minus 5. So how you find out the volume? Volume is 2a minus 5 to the power 3. Now we need to expand and write down. So here what's the expansion? First term is 2a. So power 3, power 2, power 1. Last term is 5. Starting from here, power 2, power 3. And this is negative. First term positive, negative, positive, negative. And make sure that you put 3 for these two terms. So here, expand and write down. 2 to the power 3 is 8. 2 to the power 2 is 4. 4 times 3, 12. 12 times 5, 60. Here 5 times 5 is 25. 25 times 2, 50. 50 times 3, 150. And then last term, 5 to the power 3, you get 125. So here this is the volume in terms of A. Now look at last question. Write this one as a cube and use it to find the value of this. So look at carefully what's this one. This is a cube term. This is the first term and this is the last term. So how can I write down this one? X minus y cube. Why this is minus? First term positive, second term minus, third term positive, like that. Then using that, you are asked to find the value of this. Now look at carefully this one. What's the first term? 25. What's the last term? 23. So that means x is equal to 25. And what's the y value? Y value is 23. So when you plug what you get, this one is same as 25 minus 23 to the power 3. So what's the value? 25 minus 23 is 2. 2 to the power 3. So what's 2 to the power 3? You get 8. In this lesson, we discussed about binomial expressions, mainly when you get a cube term. So remember how we can expand the cube term. Either you can use the pattern, or can you remember the Pascal triangle? From Pascal triangle also you can look at the values.